Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mukhtar Kasim. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. President Bola Tinubu has departed Nigeria for France, beginning a three-nation official visit that will also take him to Kenya and Rwanda. The presidential aircraft took off from the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja on Sunday, marking the start of a diplomatic tour aimed at strengthening economic partnerships and attracting foreign investment. The presidency says Tinubu's first stop is in France, after which he will travel to Nairobi to participate in the Africa-France Summit, scheduled for May 11 to May 12. The federal government has summoned South Africa's acting High Commissioner in Nigeria over rising xenophobic attacks targeting Nigerians and their businesses in South Africa. Foreign Ministry spokesman Chimebi Ebenfa says the envoy is expected to meet Nigerian officials to address documented cases of violence and mistreatment. The move follows renewed anti-immigration tensions in South Africa, where high unemployment has fueled repeated attacks on foreign nationals. Former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has announced his departure from the African Democratic Congress (ADC), citing worsening internal crisis within the party and broader national challenges. In a statement shared on X, Obi said his decision followed deep personal reflections and silent pains he had been carrying while navigating Nigeria's political environment. He described the country's system as increasingly toxic, saying it has become marked by intimidation, insecurity, suspicion, and discouragement, which he argued often undermines sincere public service. Former Kano State Governor Rabiu Kwankwaso has denied report of a political realignment within the African Democratic Congress, saying no final decision has been made. Kwankwaso stated that consultations are ongoing amidst legal uncertainties, including conflicting court rulings affecting the party's leadership and structure. He also said a formal position will be communicated after engagement with stakeholders across political platforms are concluded. In the same vein, the African Democratic Congress has released its 2026 election timetable, outlining dates for nominations, screening, and primaries across all positions. National Publicity Secretary of the ADC, Bolaji Abdullahi, says presidential forms will cost 100 million naira, with discounts for youth, women, and persons with disabilities. The party says primaries will begin May 21, with the presidential primary scheduled for May 25, ahead of the final ratification. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has confirmed plans to visit the United States to spotlight Nigeria's worsening insecurity and governance challenges. Through his media aide, Paul Ibe, Atiku says the country faces a full-blown internal crisis, citing rising inflation, a weakened currency, and declining public trust in institutions. The move comes amid rising political activities ahead of the 2027 general elections, with calls for urgent reforms and accountability. Away from politics to education, where the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB, will hold its 2026 admission policy meeting on May 11 to determine cut-off marks for the upcoming academic session. JAMB's spokesperson, Fabian Benjamin, says the meeting will take place in Abuja, with the Minister of Education, Maruf Alausa, expected to unveil key policy directions. The event will also feature participation from agencies like NELFund and the NYSC, alongside awards aimed at improving standards in tertiary admissions. Over now to Benue State, where Governor Hyacinth Alia has pledged free healthcare for pensioners, improved welfare, higher stipends, and expanded infrastructure if re-elected. He made this known as members of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners and Benue State Motorcycles Owners and Riders Association presented his expression of interest and nomination forms at the Government House in Makurdi. Here are details by Felicity Nderi.
At the Old Banquet Hall of the Government House in Makurdi, members of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners and Benue State Motorcycle Owners and Riders Association (BEMWA) gathered to present the nomination and expression of interest forms they purchased in support of Governor Hyacinth Alia's re-election bid ahead of the 2027 general elections. The endorsement reflects growing confidence in the governor's administration, with both unions pointing to improvements in welfare and infrastructure as reasons for their support.
No single governor has enjoyed this privilege of the masses buying this fund for such aspirants.
Responding, Governor Hyacinth Alia expressed optimism, saying their support will inspire his administration to deliver more dividends of democracy. He also announced plans for a reconciliation meeting of the All Progressive Congress (APCL) in the state, with an invitation extended to the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. The governor for the call for stronger grassroots collaboration to sustain peace across the state's 23 local government areas, stressing that tackling banditry remains a collective responsibility.
As what you have done here is in one sentence presented to me that continuity is important. I am a governor because you are. And I will continue to work for you seriously, ensuring that your children have a narrative to go when they grow up.
Leaders of the Nigerian Unions of Pensioners and BEMWA say their decision to support the governor is based on his people's focused policies and visible development efforts.
In other countries, pensioners are placed on free medical treatment. The governor thinks that when it takes over 2027, it's going to implement that. On top of that, we pensioners in Benue State decided that this kind of person will not buy phone for himself.
We commend your visionary leadership, especially your commitment to including young people in governance. Through this, you are building a brighter future for all.
The development highlights increasing political support for Governor Hyacinth Alia as momentum builds towards the 2027 elections, alongside efforts to strengthening unity within the All Progressive Congress. In Makurdi, Felicity Nderi, reporting for Global Television News.
Government has been urged to urgently ensure press freedom, protect journalists, and bring an end to the escalating insecurity and widespread human rights violation across several parts of northern Nigeria. And this comes as the international community marks the 2026 World Press Freedom Day. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project (SERAP) and the Nigerian Guild of Editors (NGE) urged President Bola Tinubu, state governors, and the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, to particularly address insecurity in places like Benue, Borno, Kwara, Plateau, and Sokoto State. The group made the call in a statement issued following the conference and interactive session on the role of the media in promoting people's right, accountability, and access to justice in the context of growing insecurity in Nigeria, held in Lagos, with the event jointly organized by both groups to mark the World Press Day. Let's now turn to security matters, where the Nigerian Air Force has killed several terrorists in an airstrike targeting a key hideout in Katsina State. Air Commodore Ehidemi Ojedame says the operation followed credible intelligence linking the location to notorious kingpin Abu Aikim. The strike is expected to disrupt terrorist logistics and reduce attacks across the affected communities in the state. Meanwhile, troops of the Nigerian Army have neutralized 4 suspected terrorists during a patrol along the Turare-Yantumaki Road in Katsina State. This was made known in a post on X by Zakazola Makama, a counterinsurgency and security expert in the Lake Chad region. Makama noted that the incident occurred at midnight when the troops came under attack by armed assailants while on routine patrol. Now, in a world where first impressions are formed within seconds, what we wear often speaks before we do. Fashion today is no longer just about clothing. It has become a powerful expression of identity, culture, and individuality. In this report, Sadiya Yakubu takes a closer look at how fashion continues to shape who we are and how we are perceived.
From traditional attire to contemporary streetwear, fashion tells stories of identity, heritage, and personal belief. Across societies, clothing often reflects status, culture, and sometimes even political expression. Over the years, fashion have moved beyond trends set by global fashion houses. Today, individuals are increasingly redefining style on their own terms, blending cultural heritage with modern influences to create unique personal identities.
Fashion is still, people see it as an identity because it shows who you are and where you're from. Like there's a way an Igbo man will dress, you know that definitely this person is from Igbo. And there's a way an Hausa man will dress, you know that this person is an Hausa man.
Social media platforms such as Instagram and TikTok have further amplified this evolution, providing a global stage for individuals to showcase their fashion sense and influence emerging trends. In Nigeria and across Africa, fashion remains deeply rooted in culture and tradition. Fabrics like Ankara are not just fashionable materials. They represent history, pride, and a sense of belonging. Beyond expression and culture, fashion is also being used as a tool for challenging societal norms. Many young people are now using style to break stereotypes and assert individuality beyond traditional expectations. In a fast-changing world, fashion continues to evolve, but its purpose remains constant: to tell a story, whether influenced by culture, global trends, or personal creativity. What we wear ultimately reflects who we are.
I think fashion is a lifestyle, and it can be inborn also.
Fashion is more than fabric and design. It is identity, voice, and expression woven together. And while trends may fade, personal style remains timeless. Sadiya Yakubu, Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. News Cycle continues after this weather forecast plus business, foreign, and sports stories. On the other side of this break, please stay with us.
Hello and welcome to the weather forecast. In the past 24 hours, some northern states experienced thunderstorm activities. Going into Monday, residents of Borno, Yobe, Jigawa are likely to experience slight dust haze. Visibility is expected to remain fairly stable with no significant reduction. Other parts of the country will experience a mix of clouds and sunshine intervals. But as the day progresses, thunderstorms are expected in parts of the southwestern states to also include parts of Niger, the Federal Capital Territory, Plateau, Nasarawa, extending to parts of Kaduna, Gombe, Bauchi, Adamawa, and Taraba states. Residents in these affected areas are expected to stay alert for possible thunderstorm events and take necessary precaution. I am Theodora Itzum. Have an amazing week.
You're welcome back from that break, and if you're just tuning in, this is the live broadcast of News Cycle on Global Television. Let's continue with business news, where Nigeria has recorded an estimated 5.13 trillion naira oil revenue windfall following a surge in global crude oil prices triggered by the United States-Iran conflict. Data shows earnings exceeded budget projections due to prices rising above $100 per barrel despite lower production levels. The development boosts government's revenue but raises concerns over fuel costs and broader economic pressure. Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries OPEC Plus has increased oil production quotas by 188,000 barrels per day in a move aimed at stabilizing global markets. The cartel made no mentions of the United Arab Emirates' recent withdrawal, signaling an effort to project unity despite internal tensions. Now, analysts say the increase may have limited impact due to supply disruptions linked to the Strait of Hormuz crisis. Nigeria's debt to the World Bank has increased by $2.08 billion to $19.89 billion as of December 2025. Data from the Debt Management Office shows the rise was driven by increased borrowing from both concessional and commercial lending windows. The World Bank now accounts for over 38% of Nigeria's total external debt stock. And now to news making rounds on the foreign scene. Taiwan's President Lai Ching-te has visited Eswatini to reinforce diplomatic relations with one of its last African allies. The visit included bilateral talks and the signing of cooperation agreements between both countries. Eswatini reaffirmed support for Taiwan's global participation despite mounting pressure from China. United States President Donald Trump has warned that military action against Iran remains a possibility amidst ongoing tension in the region. The president also defended what he described as a friendly blockade aimed at restricting Iran's activities. Speaking from West Palm Beach, President Donald Trump said the United States is keeping all options on the table if Iran escalates its action. He warned that Washington would respond decisively should Tehran cross certain lines.
No, I haven't. I'm looking at it up here. Yeah, I'll let you know about it later. But, well, I wouldn't have to. I didn't say that. I said that if we left right now, it would take them 20 years to rebuild. But we're not leaving right now. We're going to do it so nobody has to go back in 2 years or 5 years. They told me about the concept of the deal. They're going to give me the exact wording now, yeah. Well, I don't want to say that. I mean, I can't tell that to a reporter. If they misbehave, if they do something bad, but right now, we'll see. But, you know, it's a possibility that could happen.
Trump also addressed measures taken to limit Iran's operations, describing them as controlled and strategic rather than aggressive. He insisted the approach is designed to maintain pressure without triggering wider conflict.
Well, it's a very friendly blockade. Nobody's even challenging it. Nobody at all is challenging it. Just so you understand, many presidents have been involved in things that are very big. They never had to go through anything with respect to Congress. They considered it to be totally unconstitutional. And the Democrats in Congress that pushed this, and probably a couple of Republicans, they're hurting our negotiating ability, which is infinite right now. And they shouldn't be doing it. It's never happened before.
Analysts say the rhetoric signal a continued hardline stance from Washington despite ongoing diplomatic considerations. President Trump's remarks underscores the fragile state of relations between the United States and Iran as global attention remains fixed on the region. Observers warn that any escalation could have far-reaching implications for international security and energy markets. Mukhtar Qasim, Global TV News. In the meantime, the United States has approved $8.6 billion in arms sales to the Middle East allies amidst the United States-Israel war on Iran. The sales come after United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio cited emergency circumstances to fast-track the transfers without prior review by the U.S. Congress. The sales include the transfer of an advanced precision kill weapon system and related equipment to Israel for $992 million and the purchase of battle command system by Kuwait for $2.5 billion United States dollars. Russian drone and missile attacks have killed at least 10 people across multiple regions in Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says forces struck Russian oil tankers and port infrastructure in retaliation. The escalation highlights intensifying attacks on energy assets as the war enters a new phase. And now talking sports. Nigeria has claimed its 15th African Women's Wrestling Championship title after dominating the competition in Egypt. Team Nigeria secured 8 gold medals, with stand-up performances from Mercy, Genesis and Ajidat Idris. The men's team finished third overall, with Harrison Obovore winning the only gold in that category. Nigeria's women's basketball team, the Tigers, ended their United States tour with a 105-57 defeat to Indiana Fevers. The American side dominated from the opening quarter, maintaining control throughout the game. The match concludes Nigeria's pre-season tour as they prepare for upcoming international competitions. Still talking sports, Nigeria's mixed 4x100 meters relay team has broken a continental record and secured qualification for the 2027 World Athletics Championship in China at the ongoing World Relays in Gaborone, Botswana. Global TV sports correspondent Aniete Patrick completes the story.
It was a historic run for Team Nigeria as the mixed 4x100 meters relay squad delivered a standout performance on the global stage. The quartet of Favour Ashe, Jennifer Chukwuka Obi, Chidera Ezako, and Maria Thompson powered to a time of 40.24 seconds, finishing fourth in a fiercely contested heat. Though just outside the podium places, the time was enough to shatter the African record and secure Nigeria's place at the 2027 World Championship in China. Canada took the win in a world record time of 40.07 seconds, ahead of Germany and the Netherlands. Director General of the National Sports Commission, Bukola Olokpade, praised the athletes for their resilience and determination.
Knowing that people like Aliyu, Yusuf Ali, Faila Togukoya are people who work for me and with me, something that I wouldn't have dreamt of. We appreciate you.
In other events, Nigeria's women's 4x400 meters team posted a season best time of 3 minutes 30.71 seconds and will return for the repechage round. The men's 4x400 meters team also recorded a season best of 3 minutes 1.04 seconds, keeping their hopes alive for qualification. In the men's 4x100 meters, the Nigerian team finished fifth in their heat with a time of 38.31 seconds, just behind Ghana.
First of all glory to God because we qualified on the mix with one of the fastest losers, but like that's a great time also, 40.2, and I'm happy we qualified for the mix today now.
With a record already secured and more opportunities ahead, Team Nigeria continues to show promise on the world stage. As competition continues here in Gaborone, attention now shifts to the repechage rounds where more Nigerian teams will be aiming to book their tickets to China. From Gaborone, Botswana, Aniete Patrick, Global TV News.
That's it on News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365. On StarTimes, it is channel 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms now displaying on your screen using our Global TV NG. I am Mukhtar Kasim, saying a very big thank you for watching.